Coming up, we'll see Justin Jefferson. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. It's the Vikings and the Commanders, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. Brandon Gaudin alongside my good friend Charles Davis, and CD for as much as the... Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
What I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Wentz first play going right to the air. And his first pass is incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Wentz. Incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 10 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
This one into the hands of Thielen. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That's good for 28 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll set up a throw. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. Well, they were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll look to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big gain to go backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you it's a full combination of what he's got going in this game. You name it, from out running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold him to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 14th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here, because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 36. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. Creeping up on 1,000, could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively, maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now, instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. He'll look to throw. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
is on the field for Washington on third down. They're going to look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And a Washington offense going back to work. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. They fake the give. Now Wentz in trouble, and he's taken down. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to fourth down. Tress Way on fourth down is sent out to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, he shifts past him. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. On play action, they'll throw. Forced out to his left. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Another first down there as this one goes for 25. Back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, if you do leave man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gamble with a running play. And boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Week 9 here in the National Football League. We'll have 9 weeks to go after this. We've got a couple of good matchups in prime time to wrap up the first half of this season. Tonight, Tennessee and KC in the AFC. And then tomorrow night, an interconference matchup. Baltimore and New Orleans from the Superdome. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Gibson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards there at a Washington first. Now Wentz. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Straight ahead, Gibson. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. The Vikings head out to take over once again. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. So, Charles, offensively, this group really playing at a high level. 7-0. And we're still a long ways from discussing a potential unbeaten season, I think. But to use a golf expression, no blemishes on the card, at least to this point.
Yeah, unlike my teenage years where there were blemishes everywhere and the dermatologist was on speed dial. But I do think that they're going to have to start answering questions about this start if they keep winning games. You and I both know, we in the media, will start to obsess about it and wonder, can they take it all the way to an undefeated season?
He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Touchdown! Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Joseph on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here comes Antonio Gibson as he's set for another drive.
And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
On second down, a run with Gibson.
And he's got some space here. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
60 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Wentz now on first down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
They'll run with Gibson, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Antonio Gibson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Commanders are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played.
Joey Sly on for the extra point.
It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That is caught by Thielen. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Vikings.
T.J. Hawkinson.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Joseph now to have the PAT. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards.
And it was T.J. Hawkinson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Washington's offense ready to go again. There's Antonio Gibson.
And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To throw again on second down. Wentz. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he's got room. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Throwing on first is Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We start up at Soldier Field, Miami, making the trip north to take on.
Past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the third quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out, because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes he's going to win that battle. And you know what they all do? They all keep kind of a book, you know, on what the defenders do, what their moves are, their best things. And he wants to be able to refer to that book and beat one guy at a time.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Open man is Thielen. It's complete.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Touchdown!
Justin Jefferson.
28 yards as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
First chance for the Commanders offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, That's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Joseph on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw into the hands of McLaurin.
On first down, Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. Wentz now to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming.
To throw, it's Wentz. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. Out to him, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And out now come the Vikings. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And he'll wind up getting this to the 32, a play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
They run it again with Cook. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll run for it. Cook. And this will be a Vikings first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Juszczyk.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Wentz now on first down.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Jahan Dotson was the intended receiver.
And now it's 2nd down. Wentz going to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And Thomas has it. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw is Wentz. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Here's Wentz to throw. And that is incomplete. Here's Tressway now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
36 yards on the play.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And able to work his way down to the 16.
132 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
He was brought down by Cole. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Let's go.
They'll run with Cook. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Joseph now to have the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side of this one.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wentz. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Wentz. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
And that one on the rookie, Charles, maybe a little too overeager.
You know how many times you talk about the quarterback having to have a clock in his head and make sure the ball gets away before the rush gets there? When you're a pass rusher, you have to know when the ball is gone and make sure you don't hit the quarterback afterward.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Wentz. And he will find his man, Samuel.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan.
20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our...
That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's Cook again.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Minnesota,
they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign.
And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders,
their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.